hope you guys can hear the music. That's all I hope each time. Like, please let that music be playing because there's no guarantee with all the tech issues. Vigilante Williamson here on the 70th episode of my show, the Vigilante Williamson Show. It is October 26th, Tuesday, October 26th, and I hope you're having a good Tuesday, man. Hope you're having a really, really good Tuesday. We got a lot to talk about. We always have a lot to talk about. There's always so much going on in this crazy world. This crazy ass world we live in. It's pretty crazy, man. Pretty crazy. I mean, if you told your younger self, I mean, even 5 years younger, hell, even 3 years younger, right? That this would be the world that you live in, would you believe it? Would you believe yourself from the future? I don't think I would. I don't think I'd believe this at all. But I believe there are people in the chat, and I appreciate you guys. Hell, V-Star, who tried to order a hoodie, don't know if it went through or not. Somebody else complained about Teespring. I haven't really been too active with it, and because I haven't really got too many sales of the Teespring, I don't do the best job of promoting it. I'm not as shill for myself as I probably should be. But I apologize if you had issues ordering, Nancy. I gotta look into that and see what's going on. So I apologize about that. Wookiee Supremacy, hell, dropped the video on my Discord. Did not check it out yet. I'll check it out after the stream. Don't want to disturb myself, Wookiee, but hell, appreciate you being here. Hell, Zax. Hell, Cold Era. It's always a cold era. We're in a cold era, so your name fits. The era is cold. Hell, low spec Linux laptop. Hell, Morgan Holloway, the House of Holloway. Appreciate you and or both of you checking me out, man. Thank you both. So I haven't really talked about the Kyrie Irving thing, and I want to, if I say something that's redundant, stuff that you already know about, I apologize. I get that everybody though does not follow sports ball and all the different forms of sports ball. He's an NBA basketball player. He's been in the league about a decade now. One of the better players in the league. He's never had the best relationship with the media, even before his recent thing. Basically, long and short is he's absolutely refusing the vaccine, as it's called, or as I call it, gene therapy. But he's refusing to do it, and he plays for Brooklyn Nets, which is in New York City. New York has very, very strict mandates regarding people needing to be vaccinated to even get into the building that he works or that he plays half of his games, all of his home games. In order to get into the Barclays Center, which is where the Nets play, you have to be vaccinated. He's refusing it, and he's willing to lose money. He's willing to lose millions and millions of dollars. He's not doing it. He's not playing. And it's an interesting thing. And of course, he's been killed by the media. He's this, that, and the third. He's the worst person on earth. We're actually taking a stand. And it's very ironic, right? Because if you think about it, what has the media, especially the NBA, but what has the sports media and the sports world been doing the past year with protesting and being activists? You know what I mean? I keep joking about the group economics on the back of people's jerseys, but that was not a joke. That was actually on some NBA jerseys, because instead of having a name, they were able to have things like equality and stop all these stupid phrases. And one of them was group economics, which had nothing to do with the George Floyd incident that sparked everything off or anything really, but it was just Marxism for Marxism's sake on the back of jerseys, because that's who the NBA simps for. They simp for Marxists. Same with the NFL. Who, at least this is last year. This is 2020. Now, if you have been paying attention to sports ball, 2021, there's some in racism stuff on some of the court. Which, I mean, hey, in racism, we don't want racism, right? Unfortunately, it has kind of that Marxist 1984. Info, so to speak, when they stamp it on something. But in general, listen, as much as I joke about the bigots and all that, No one wants to be racist. No one wants racism. So cool, whatever. But besides stuff like that, it's been a lot more toned down as far as sports. Sports have been completely apolitical, save for this. And honestly, I've noticed sports fans. I feel like it's almost like sports have back a little bit as far as NBA, NFL. Just judging by the reaction, a lot of clips and a lot of highlights got last year, where because everything was so political, so much of the reaction to even the non-political, just cool moments was political by a lot of fans. But that's not what we're getting from the NBA or NFL this year, save for this issue, save for Kyrie Irving. Like I said, Kyrie Irving's a guy who's never really been on the right side of the media. He infamously or famously played with LeBron James. And after there was a rumor that he was going to be traded, he asked to be traded. And because of LeBron James' status in the media, that like made him like enemy number one. That and Kyrie is a different guy. There's no way to no other way to put it. He's a different guy. He's a guy. You think I'm a conspiracy theorist? He's a flat earther. He's also a guy who like puts like the one eye symbol on the shoe, but like for the actual esoteric, I forgot what the religion is, but like he's a different guy. And I have not always agreed with everything he said or done. I'll just be honest. I've agreed with some of the things he said or done even before this. This holdout basically. He's really now he's willing to lose lots of money, and he's also willing to potentially lose a championship. The Nets were favorite this year, team he plays for, because of the super team they built. And he's willing to be down that. I mean, he's also a guy, he's very BLM. He's very, he's probably said some things that if you read it, you may not be too kind or too kindly to. He's very pro BLM, and BLM is pro him, but they're not the only ones that are pro him, and that's really where this story starts. So, shout out to Outkick. A lot of places have had this, but there's this scene, and I hope the sound works. You guys just don't hear me breathing. I'll mute my mic anyway. But basically, of all these protesters, and it's a mix. It is not just this pro BLM crowd in Brooklyn. There are some "Don't Tread on Me." There are literally people with "Don't Tread on Me" flags right next to BLM members. Yes, the description is not lying to you. There were MAGA supporters, the evil white supremacist Trump supporters, so-called, if the media tells it, and Black Lives Matter supporters, all protesting with Kyrie. And interestingly enough, if you guys saw yesterday's meme of the day, which was the WNBA parade, there are way more people interested in Kyrie Irving than the women fan. So I haven't checked these clips. This isn't the one where they're marching. First off, can you guys hear the sound? And I hope I don't get claimed for any of this stuff. Yeah, you see, "Don't Tread on Me" guy flag. If you saw it, it was like a yellow one, and it is BLM guys. It's Black Lives Matter shirt. I don't know if you can see everything. MAGA hats. "Don't Tread on Me" flags. Yeah, I don't think this is audio's good. Cool. I didn't see this one, but as you can see, like I said, if you what does it say? No shoot. Stand with Kyrie. And these are all the people. These are all the people that stand with Kyrie. And this is not the video I saw. That was another video from a different angle where you can see more people. Oh man, poor random guys have to work. Okay. You get it, man, basically. But I don't know. Again, hopefully there's another angle where you can catch all the diversity, the legitimate political and racial and every other word of diversity you could possibly think. This is just a more there's a scene where you can see, like I said, there's all sorts of different flags. There's a Pan-African flag. So yeah, you get. How often are you going to see a BLM flag and a "Don't Tread on Me" flag, and MAGA hats and BLM hats at the same time? And who would ever think it would be for a fucking basketball player? Out of all the things to bring people together, Kyrie Irving of all people is the guy to bring people together. Kyrie Irving, great basketball player. Probably snubbed off the top 75, and I really wish I could find the video I saw. I hate when I have to look at a different YouTuber's video and use their stuff. What's the great whistle for? To annoy the shit out of people. To go Bill Alfonso, if you guys are old wrestling fans, is this old manager from the 90s. ECW used to blow the whistle. And hell, Nancy V-Star. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you being here, and your comments, your what up VW comments that are now becoming like appreciated elements of my videos. Hopefully, it can be like that. Never stop making these. Let me see if I can find another video that shows how much how many different people are in this what you call in this protest. Let me see. It must not be you. Let's see. Sorry again, one guy doing a live show, so I apologize for the delay. I really wanted you guys to see. I mean, that was pretty showing and telling, but unfortunately, it was so much as far as the like you couldn't really get as good of a view. So I think, hold on a second, I think I got the clip I need. And I just want to make sure you guys can see everything. And hell, brightest day with your own mask with the Vigilante Williamson. Okay, yeah, this will work. This will work. So again, I hate aping Greg Foreman. Shout out to Greg Foreman. This is just another shot, another angle for the protest. Again, there's a lot more people who care about this one male basketball player than cared about the championship of WNBA. I just want to toss that out. It's the stand with Kyrie. Again, pretty ethnically diverse, politically diverse. See, don't tread on me flag. Black Lives Matter, New York. Again, Black Lives Matter hoodies, and you MAGA hats. A little bit more MAGA hats. Okay, all right. I don't want to steal any more from Greg Foreman. We actually got that from Lee WordPress. Yeah, that's the video footage. Please do not claim me. I didn't really talk over. I just wanted everything to be, seen. But that's where we are. That's interesting element. Basically, the long and short is a combined group of Black Lives Matter supporters, and purported MAGA supporters or Republican supporters. Guys are down on the Democratic Party. And so there's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to unpack. There's even, I'll show some of the other stuff later. Let me start with kind of the I can't think of the right word because I'm live. But the less, maybe the less obvious, but the more interesting element to me. V-Star was able to get a hoodie. Oh, come on, Wookie. Stop. I didn't notice that. Is she really not able to make a fist? Stop, Wookie. You bigot. You fucking bigot. No. But let's start with the first thing. So yesterday's episode had She-Hulk in the cover because I was wondering, is there any signs of change, right? Change. Shout out to Obama, right? Change. Not Michael Berry. Are there signs of change? Is there something different in the air? Let's Go Brandon, right? That's the new thing hot in the streets. The song Let's Go Brandon was #1 on iTunes, right? Despite censorship, it's hit some sort of mainstreamification. Have enough people been red pilled by the past 8 or 9 months to where things are a little different than they were? Not totally. There's still a lot of freaks. There's still a lot of Tumblrites, useful idiots on Twitter who, scream the wokest stuff from the highest hills. But are there more and more people willing to look past a lot of political bullshit? I am honestly, I'm shocked that I saw again, who knows, but the purported BLM members purported not Democrats, Republicans. And like I said, there was a Don't Tread on Me flag, there was a BLM hoodie in the same rally. And a year ago, these people were punching each other in malls, right? So, and another element about BLM specifically, as much as Patrice Cullors and was buying large mansions, and we got the Martin Luther Creams of the world, never forget, similar to Time's Up, the actual chapters who wanted to do stuff never got money. And that's why that hoodie said BLM New York. There's a BLM New York, Chicago, every other major city you could think of. And they never got money from the major chapter. All that money that went in last year, that went to the DNC and went to buy large mansions. It never went to any local Black Lives Matter chapter. They were only used when necessary, useful idiot style. And I am not pro BLM. In fact, BLM was one of the reasons I started the channel, because they pissed me off, and it pissed me off to see something that was so obviously fraudulent be used as something that was somehow quote unquote representative of my voice. It's like, fuck out of here. Are you kidding? And then when corporate America took it, it really pissed me off. But all that money, all that hype, all that shit, it never went to a local chapter. And to be fair, again, not the most positive of BLM, but the local chapters are the only ones who did anything of note that was positive. Only ones who would do coat drives and whatever else for the community. Oh Lord, got a telemarketer. Sorry. But it would be a local chapter. It wouldn't be a national chapter. So all that money didn't go to them. And a lot of them are upset. In particular, if I remember, the New York chapter was upset. I've covered that on earlier episodes about how that funding is a little funny. And so I'm interested in seeing what the future of Black Lives Matter holds now that so much has been exposed about the actual organization to the individuals who run the organization. I'm not necessarily talking about the fair weather fans of BLM who just have a hoodie and a shirt because Twitter told them to. I'm talking about the actual ground members who run it. People had left the organization too last year. A lot of that didn't get talked about. So I'm interested in I'm like, I wonder if this is something they would have done if they were still as connected with the national organization as they were last year. I don't think they would have, honestly. This rally. And is this a defiant thing? There were guys very negative on the Democratic Party. How is this going to play forward? How is this going to play going forward when the DNC used BLM as along with Antifa as a bully organization and a guilt trip organization for all of last year, and basically abandoned them? What are those people going to do going forward? That's an interesting element to just ask. Outside this Kyrie Irving thing, outside of anything, where are they going to go, and how are they going to react? That's one question I have. Another is, are we going to see? Oh boy, let's talk about hijacks. White House has a crippled kid named Brandon. Now, in order to attempt to hijack, let's go, Brandon. Yes, let's go, Brandon. My other thing is, are we going to see more crossover events, so to speak? Are we going to see more things where something that is thought of to be leftist, or people who are thought of to be leftist, and people who are thought of to be on the right, the alt-right, connecting for a shared purpose in protest? You know what I mean? I don't know how effective the protest is going to be in the grand scheme of things. You know, it's not like this is going to change the world. Everyone's going to start holding hands and everything, but it's just an interesting thing to see. Can people from these groups come together for any other shared purpose? And hell, will that be necessary with the authoritarian craziness that we have? As Wookie so elegantly put it, of this Brandon guy in the Oval Office, he's not really the guy. He's not really the guy. No, that's real. Talk about the protest. But yeah, that's my, in a way, I kind of hope there's more crossover. Whether it's about Kyrie Irving, whether it's about something else, I hope there are more people that can like get over whatever political division to come together for things that are like important. I think whether or not Kyrie Irving plays a game is, in the grand scheme of things, not important, but the enforcement of these vaccine mandates are. It's all I've been talking about since I've been doing daily shows, pretty much. And I wonder what's going to happen with this story long term as well, because this, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, and what's up, Senshin Dildo? So what's up, Oppressor? But as far as I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, is there any other public celebrity who's so opposed to these mandates? Is there anyone else? Like, I don't think there is somebody that's like, or another situation in which there's tons of situations. We talked about the bus shortages, we talked about worker shortages and all that, nurse shortages, all because of the enforcement of these mandates. So society's breaking apart. But as far as public culture war type stuff, I don't know if there's a more public argument other than this, as far as the mandates, as far as a public figure goes. And so I want to know what's going to happen with it. And I want to know how is it going to play out for other people. And I got to commend Kyrie. You know, he's had kind of a soft rivalry with LeBron since playing together. And LeBron's whole thing was more than an athlete. He did this like cosplay of Malcolm X once. Like look at LeBron cosplaying as Malcolm X. He was like seriously cosplaying as Malcolm X, trying to read his book, even though he's never, like, I don't think he's ever read like 2 pages of it. Such a dildo. Believe science. Take the jab. Embrace utopia. Nah, I'll pass. Like Steve Nash on that. I don't know why I'm showing AJ Hawk. I guess he's just there. But yeah, he's had this soft rivalry with LeBron. They push LeBron as he's this athlete, this activist athlete, more than an athlete. But he only does what his corporate shills tell him. He only does what China tells him, the China James. He only does what he's allowed to do. Meanwhile, I wonder how Nike feels about this, because Kyrie is a big Nike guy. But Kyrie is willing to lose millions of dollars, lose a championship for his principles, regardless of what you think about him. That's what he's willing to lose. And they've compared LeBron to Muhammad Ali, but LeBron is nowhere close to Muhammad Ali, because he was never willing to lose money for a cause. Kyrie is. He's already lost money. He's already lost game checks so far. He's going to keep racking them up so far every time he doesn't play. because the NBA basically announced if you're not allowed to get in your building, I don't think I said that part earlier, and I apologize. The whole point of this Kyrie Irving thing, this whole protest is if you're not if you're not vaccinated, according to the NBA, in your area or the arena that you're supposed to play in, mandates that you be vaccinated in order to enter, and you're not vaccinated and therefore cannot enter, you will not be compensated. You will just lose your game check, and that's it. You just will you cannot play, and you will lose your game check. And so as a result, Kyrie Irving, who is reportedly not vaccinated and who plays half of his games in Brooklyn city, or in Brooklyn, New York city, with those mandates, he's not playing, and that's caused so much divisiveness, or so much uproar that even a mixed crowd of MAGA supporters and BLM supporters were there and protesting him. Oh yeah, you saw that LeBron posing with Malcolm X's biography. Such clown shit, pure clown shit. He doesn't understand sacrifice, man. LeBron was such a clown. He posted, not posted. We never saw the image actually, but the report of somebody writing the N-word on his in his gated community in Brentwood, California, a community he never moved from, by the way. I think he moved everything to LA after that point, after that supposed incident, which, like anyone who with a half a brain knows, was a staged incident. This guy who's a real race baiter, and I think Kyrie isn't caught up in race a lot too. He definitely is. But and he like I said, Kyrie's had some wacky incidents himself, but he's a guy who's principled, and he's a guy, hell, even in talking about LeBron when they went on Cleveland and LeBron was reportedly looking to trade Kyrie. Kyrie was willing to retire, then just quit, because he wasn't going to get things dictated to him. So he's an interesting type of guy, and it's again very interesting to see the political element and the cohesiveness of the different supporters. And I wonder how that's going to play. And are we going to get more of that? Do you guys think we'll get more of that? More groups that were, again, last year literally fighting each other, protesting with one another, particularly over this jab thing, because I think it's something. Jesus, such a dildo. But I do think it's something that kind of unites certain elements of certain groups. I don't see BLM ever being pro-jab if they have any history on the Tuskegee experiment. I don't see how they could actually be pro-jab. And no sense of dildo. Gated communities, community-wide people do not have an N-word pass. But no, I think that was a staged thing. I think that was staged. Allegedly, I wasn't there. I'm not trying to, don't sue me. But I believe that was staged. But yeah, those are the elements that interest me. Will we see more? And it actually brought up another thing. I'll get back into the Kyrie because there's one more thing I want to talk about. One more thing I want to show. But I wondered in seeing this, and granted, again, I don't think it's the tides haven't turned yet. And hell, Pat S, who's here but super busy and is already in his clown makeup. Appreciate it. Hopefully you can still just watch, you don't have to participate in the chat. Just lurk and work. And watch the playback for anything you missed if that's your thing. So appreciate you being here, Pat S. So I do wonder again where things are going to be playing out. And not that, is this a sign of something? Is there a sign that some of that wokeness is being pushed back? Some of the overwhelmingly, overhanded leftist that has been plaguing the world and just destroying the world the past few years, are we starting to see a greater pushback from it? Where Marvel was even saying, I don't know, this is maybe too woke. Where, even No Time to Die, which still apparently was woke, a lot of that was reshot to limit the wokeness. It was even woker than it was. You know what I mean? There's certain things like that. And then you even see, like I said, BLM and MAGA people protesting together. You wonder, is there something in the air? Let's Go Brandon is mainstream. Mainstream. There's a song, Let's Go Brandon, #1 on iTunes. Is there something in the air? There are more people being red pilled, so to speak. If you remember last year, in regards to the whole Orange Man election, there was a lot of people talking about this quote unquote silent majority, this group of individuals who felt a certain way towards the left, felt a certain way, even if they weren't necessarily the most pro Orange Man people, were more than willing to vote for him as opposed to the craziness proposed by the left. And now, and I think I would be considered a member of that silent majority, so to speak, which obviously didn't necessarily come to pass. The election is its own can of worms. I'm not going to talk about that right now. But I wonder if there's another group of people in a new version of the silent majority, like all those people who felt that way last year carried on to this year and are still probably angry about what's going on. But now there's a new set of people who are in those shoes now, a new set of individuals who are like, wait a second, what did I vote for? The actual motherfuckers who did go, Let's Go Brandon in the polls. Not everyone who did that was dead, but some of those people now 9-10 months, now 10, almost 11 months in, almost a whole year in, now starting to say, oh shit, what the fuck did I vote for? What the fuck is this? Superman's gay. What the fuck is this? So I think there's a larger amount of those people being red pill. There's a new silent majority, so to speak. The old silent majority is on YouTube talking shit to you guys. And now there's a new silent majority that may or may not exist. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if all these stories are indicative of it, or if it's just my conspiracy theory mind taking new data, doing the same thing it does with it, with everything else. I don't know, but it's just some things that I've been thinking about, trying to observe culture and trying to put it all together. Hell, Rough Girl, it says, it feels like there's an undersurface level of people who had enough of everything. I agree. In 2020, you had 3%ers and BLM protesting together. I know the 5%ers. I'm not sure what the 3%ers are, man. Let's say I'm missing something. No, wait, 3%ers. I do know who they are. There was I didn't see that. I do know who the 3%ers are now that you mentioned. They were the weren't they like a quote unquote militia type group? And I did not see that happened since you did, though. I literally didn't. And I don't, maybe we'll see more of that. Like I said, I'm not sure if you were here while I was playing the video, but there were "Don't Tread on Me" flags and BLM hoodies all together. Yeah. A lot of the old silent majority, now we're talking. We're not silent anymore. But there's a new silent majority to replace us. Rough Girl said, undersurface level of people who got sick. But yeah, Wookie says, I agree with a lot of that. The old silent majority got sick of holding our tongues. Yeah, I think a lot of us, we're talking. We're trying to red pill people. Yeah, okay, they're militia, Boogaloo boys. Yeah, and it's not a left or a right thing, but tired of all the nonsense. People are ready to say enough is enough. I think that's what it is. I talk a lot about how, as much as we want to be right or left, normies don't notice, right? That's my thing for everything, not just the entertainment stuff, but the political stuff. They don't notice. They're not caught up in the day-to-day culture war. So to the normies, this is now the moment where they say, okay, this is, they didn't know all the characters were being made gay and all these crazy laws were happening and all this stuff. Well, they didn't know that, but now they do, or now they're learning. And then now they're starting to react. Again, a lot of them, silent majority, silent being the key point, or maybe not majority, but silent group, a silent enough group that are starting to really wake up, who just were oblivious last year and do no real fault of their own. Life is hard, and that's why they were able to get away with stuff, because they're able to push stuff through life. While we're working and dealing with kids or spouses or family members or friends or whatever element to our lives, maybe trying to build a business, whatever you're doing, You got all this stuff going on while you're doing that, they're slipping more crazy and crazy shit in your entertainment, into the laws, into the regulations of things. And so you don't even know what's happening. And you just wake up one day, boiled frog, you just wake up boiling. And you're like, how the hell did this happen? Not realizing that temperature's been gradually put up or turned up on you. Push people beyond their limits, and there will be a natural reaction. And those doing the pushing act like they did nothing. Yeah, it's authoritarians versus liberals versus classical liberals versus what the actual word means. Believe it or not, liberals, classical liberals. That is kind of what it is. Authoritarians versus libertarians. I've heard it as authoritarians versus the rest of us. And there is pushback. So we'll see what happens. I'll just show this. We'll see what happens. Everyone's favorite boxer also shows some support for Kyrie Irving. I just want to play this because it's pretty cool too. So hopefully I don't get claimed. This Floyd Mayweather supporting Kyrie. And then there's one more basketball story. As far as somebody maybe political in the basketball spectrum and the sports spectrum. But you know what? As much as sports, the past, not just the 5 years, the past 20 years, they've been pushing sports as a political platform. They used to constantly say, these athletes don't speak up enough. They just always wanted athletes to be the leaders, especially my people. For some reason, the political thought leader should be somebody who spend their entire life and their entire expertise on physical pursuits. They should be the ones who are my thought leaders. That never made any sense to me. And real quick, let me see. Rough Grace says, sorry I haven't been around. You guys may putting videos together a little easy, and I'm having a hard time. No, putting videos together is super fucking hard. It is not. I have a video, my fucking review, I still have not done because it's so hard. It is not easy. So if we made it look easy, it's not. I don't know how. That's one thing I would not say. Clipping stuff. I just clip stuff now. And actually, I don't even do that. Wait Down does. Because it's so hard to stream, ramble, and clip stuff. Because I can't. I mean, I can, but it takes so long. So do not feel hard on yourself or down on yourself. It is the difficult. But yeah, back to what I was saying as far as the media always pushing sports, sports athletes and athletes to be community members, community leaders. They love that phrase now. They love, community leaders. It's all commercial. He's a community leader. Like, what the fuck does that mean? You can't be a professional community leader. At least I didn't think you could. But they've always pushed for this, especially the past 20 years. I remember Michael Wilbon, back when I used to watch Partner Interruption, talking about, these athletes don't want to say anything. But now that I wonder how they feel now that some of these athletes are starting to say things that they don't like. And that is going to be the kind of theme of not just what we just talked about and what we're about to show here with Floyd Mayweather, who's, again, no angel with a lot of stuff. Some of his incidents, I mean, he's went to jail for domestic abuse, I believe, at one point. And obviously kind of a arrogant guy who rubs a lot of people the wrong way. But he has some interesting things to say in this clip. And let me see. Real quick, let me see what you guys are saying before I get into it. Morgan Holloway says, is just me right now? I'm on the phone right now. Sometimes we play YouTube on a big TV and a dark den of love. Oh, okay. I don't know if I'm necessarily the best YouTuber for your dark den of love, but that's cool. It's time consuming, but not really hard. Time consuming is hard to me. That's what she said. Most of my girls are a minute 30. LOL. Guess who now has? Oh no, the House of Holloway. I'm so sorry. It says, I guess who now has a deadline to get the jab. Both of us. Oh no. I wish you guys the best. I'm not in the business of telling people what to do or how to do things, but I wish you guys the best in that pursuit. Or in that issue. I'm luckily no one's told me anything about any jab mandates because I'm working remotely. But I still don't necessarily think that matters relative to what the laws were tossed. Factory just let us little busy drones that we have until the end of December. I mean, if you can look for something, I guess that's something to do. If that's not the medical decision that you want to make, I'm not telling anyone's medical decision to make, even though I have free speech and we can discuss it. But hell, Decepticon King, I wish you the best. I wish the House of Holloway the best. Hey, blessings be upon your house. That's not good at all, man. Y'all hear about the super code? I did not hear about the super code. So yeah, or unless you're talking about the super, the coof. That's kind of the super flu. And speaking of the coof, speaking of the mandates, let's actually get into this video of Floyd Mayweather. A lot of his stuff I just said, but his support of Kyrie, and then we'll talk about one more NBA player before get moving on. So hopefully the sound works, and hopefully this plays. Hopefully you can hear this. Oh no, you can't hear this. I'm sorry. I just realized you couldn't hear this. So we're gonna play this all the way over. I'm like, damn it. I don't know if you guys can hear it. You guys couldn't. So all right. I'm gonna ask again. I'm gonna play it. Let me know if you can hear it.
Kyrie, what's up? I know you're going through
you
a
couldn't
lot.
hear this.
We had a chance to hang out in 2016.
Can you hear this now?
When you represented America, when you represented the red, white, and blue. You only want to be treated fair. I was gonna post something on one of my social media pages.
Now I'm muted. Could you hear him talk? So we got a yep. All right, cool. So I'm about to mute myself again and then let my man, not my man. He's a Michigan dude, Floyd Mayweather. So I muted myself and then started talking again, and you guys are able to hear. Cool. But wait, we got no audio from Code Air. I'm not sure if he's further back, but some people are able to hear, some people are not. I'm gonna just mute myself and play the whole thing in one shot and hope I don't get claimed. But one thing I did want to say, he brought up a point about the fact that Kyrie was in the Olympics at one point representing the red, white, and blue. And we saw this past year, not everybody did that. Not everybody represented in the Olympics. So that's another thing to kind of toss in to the Kyrie thing. So, all right, let me let Floyd talk. And hopefully everybody will be able to hear. All right.
Kyrie, what's up? I know you're going through a lot. We had a chance to hang out in 2016 when you represented America, when you represented the red, white, and blue. You only want to be treated fair. I was gonna post something on one of my social media pages, but I decided to do it the old school way and read it out to you because you're a great person, great father, great athlete, and you believe what you believe. America is the land of the free. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and supposedly freedom to choose. Never be controlled by money. I respect you for having some integrity and being your own man. A free mind makes his own choices. An enslaved mind follows the crowd. Stand for something or fall for anything. One man can lead a revolution to stand up and fight for what's right. One choice, one word, one action can change the world. It's crazy how people hate you for being a leader.
All right. I thought there was more to it, but it cut off early. And not only, hey, since you did, I'm not sure you saw it. Not only is he a white supremacist, there are white supremacists marching with BLM members. What the hell's going on? If you guys didn't see that earlier, you can play that back or just go on Greg Foreman's channel. That's what I did. But yeah, you can see, or go on Outkick, because that's also what I did. But you can see that there's the Kyrie support. Yeah, there were people with "Don't Tread on Me" flags and MAGA hats supporting Kyrie. So maybe he is. He did kind of string together a bunch of motivational one-liners. He did just go motivation, but it was an interesting part about, like I said, Kyrie did represent the red, white, and blue a lot better than people did the past year. So what do you say? What do you say? It's an interesting thing. I say I hadn't covered it. I had not covered the Kyrie Irving vax holdout. And that protest, I'm like, okay, I finally can kind of give my thoughts on it, and I'm finally gonna cover it. So yeah, live, laugh, love, bro. basically, basically, he was one man can lead a revolution. Okay, bro. Okay, Floyd. Okay, Floyd. So to continue on with our athlete as activist, legitimately though, you know what I mean? These are people who are making legitimate stands and having legitimate issues, not like Nike told us to do. And I really want to know what Nike thinks of Kyrie. I can't imagine they're happy because they're paying them more than Brooklyn is. But Enes Kanter, and damn it, I am such an idiot. Let me look it up now. I'm so busy with work and this show. It's like I wake up, do the show, go to work, go to sleep. Wake up, do the show, go to work, go to sleep. And so I'm like balls to the wall, busy the whole time. Yeah, he's from I believe he's a Turkish brother. But whatever country he's from, he can't go back to because he's pissed off the government there. And I'm trying to make sure it's Turkey as I'll check his Wikipedia. Yeah, he did do some wrestling stuff. He's a 24/7 champion before, which a lot of people have been. It's like the new hardcore championship. Let me see. So yeah, he's criticized the Turkish president, and if I remember correctly, he has a like a fucking warrant for his arrest if he ever goes back to Turkey. Damn, yeah, his father was charged. I'm looking at his thing. I don't have it up there. But yeah, so he has some real issues. He's a guy who's willing to say some shit to get him into some shit. Yeah, honk if you're horny. Why not? But Enes Kanter is willing to say some shit to get him in some shit. Like I said, he can't go back to Turkey. He's from Turkey. He can't go back there. If he does, he's not. He's pissed the government out there. His dad's been charged as a member of a terrorist group. And he's not afraid to talk shit about China. And I think he said something even last year about China. And with all the, Lord knows, the NBA outside of Disney may have been the most pro-China corporation, and maybe more than Disney, most pro-China corporation that there is. And talking about the Turkish president, Erdogan is moving mad, so he is a wild motherfucker. Yeah, I mean, he asked me to be basically like, okay, you can't come back in the country if you criticize us. That's super crazy. But Enes Kanter is not afraid. This is like all last year we heard about these athlete activists while they were putting fucking criminals on their fucking jerseys and shit and on their helmets. And now we actually have some motherfuckers who are willing to stand up for something and willing to get in hot water for it. So Enes Kanter has been critical of pro-China companies, which obviously the NBA is one of them. Boston Celtics player Enes Kanter has come out swinging against the CCP in recent days, making the most of his platform to skewer Beijing's repression. I'm sorry, not representation. It's actual repression. We're so used to hearing some blue-haired land whale talk about how oppressed she is because, the orange man said something mean. But this is actual repression of Tibetans and the Uyghurs. We know how crazy it is with the Uyghurs. And to question Xi Jinping or Winnie. On Sunday, he wore shoes emblazoned with the message "Free China" to a game. This afternoon, he opened up a new front in the campaign targeting a prominent enabler of mass atrocities, Nike. Wow. For an NBA player to come at Nike, take some cojones. There's no guarantee he's going to get a contract next year. Like, seriously. Because Nike has that much pull in the NBA, they basically own the damn thing. But Nike, which faces allegations of working with suppliers complicit in Uyghur forced labor, allegations? Not sure if they're allegations. Allegedly, the sun is hot. The fuck out of here. Let's play this video as well. Let's see Enos Cancer talk about this. This is X. Oh, for irony's sake, yeah. There's something awesome about seeing Ben Roethlisberger wear a Graper's name on his helmet. Well, he has a Graper's name on his jersey, but tis. Yeah, Enos is really about it. He is really about it. And yeah, so Zax. Appreciate you being back. Yeah, he's willing to talk his shit.
Dear Nike,
this is 3 minutes. I'm not sure if we're going to play the whole thing.
Positive impact in our communities.
First off, can you hear again? Because that's always the big issue when I play a video on a website. There's no guarantee the audio is going to play. So I'm going to play it. Can you hear?
Dear Nike, your company says that you are making a positive
Please let me know if you
impact
can hear.
In our communities. And that is true. Yes, you are. Here in the United States, Nike stands with the Black Lives Matter. Nike stands with Stop Asian Hate. Nike stands with the Latino community.
Okay.
And
Wait, pause real quick. Nike stands for Stop Asian Hate? That's news to me. May want to listen to that advice yourself. I mean, really think about it. Nike, the company who makes billions of dollars upselling Chinese labor, whether it's Uyghur forced labor or not, overly upselling Chinese labor, is told you to stop Asian hate. Told you the company that will sell you $200, $300, $500 shoes that were made for pennies on the dollar as far as work, maybe less than pennies on the dollar, told you in Asia, not exclusively in Asia, told you that you need to stop Asian hate. God damn. All right, let's you guys can hear. I'll let Enos talk. That's crazy. I didn't know that. But I mean, I should have known, but just the irony, as such a dildo says, just like really not just the irony, the sheer fucking hubris to say some shit like that. All right, go ahead, Enos.
Nike stands with the LGBTQ community, and Nike remains vocal about injustice here in America. But when it comes to China, Nike remains silent. You do not address police brutality in China. You do not speak about discrimination against the LGBTQ community. You do not say a word about the oppression of minorities in China. You are scared to speak up. Who makes your shoes in China? Do you even know? There are so many forced labor factories in China. For instance, Uyghur forced labor in modern day slavery, and it is happening right now in China. Millions of Uyghurs are currently detained, sold, and assigned to work at forced labor camps, prisons, and factories across the country. They are under constant surveillance with long working hours and poor living conditions. They are subject to political re-education.
Real quick, I just want to make sure it's not because of sound. But this is crazy. I mean, we knew this stuff. A lot of us have known this stuff, not just for the past couple years, but for longer than that. But no one in the NBA is willing to say something except Daryl Morey, who's now with the Philadelphia 76ers. Good luck with Ben Simmons, trading him. But he was with the Rockets. He said something about Hong Kong, which he probably was kind of virtue signaling on that. We said something about Hong Kong, got into all this shit. Now you got players speaking up. Most players don't speak out. Most players are getting too much money from Nike. And yeah, that's never a bad idea, especially nowadays. Always buying more ammo. And actually, you know what? No disrespect to the brother. He has a pretty janky accent, so we don't have to play the whole video. But you heard he said a lot of things that you're not allowed to say in the mainstream because of how China is. Now, we do see that there's a bigger push away from China. Not from, we saw Disney starting to push away from China. A lot of our corporations are starting to finally say, oh, we're in bed with a demon when it comes to the CCP. So you are starting to see some sort of push. But yeah, let's see. There's a Flight of Concord. Oops. There's a Flight of Concord song where they talk about the price of shoes made by slave kids. LOL, everyone knows. Yeah, everyone knows. Everyone knows. This is, and then LeBron spoke up, and everyone also knows how China is. Oh yeah, that's the next story. We'll talk about the China and Doom post. That's the next story before we end it. So we know how China is, and the NBA, all black league, or mostly black league, has done nothing about it, but nothing but bend over. They're one of the few companies I think is still heavily invested in China. I know Disney still is, but that's starting to fade. We know Walmart and Amazon is. We know that because most of their products are made in China. But there's some companies starting to say, maybe not everything. Maybe not everything. And it's also, he points out how they're so social justice, social justice literate. They're pro LGBTQ and one of the most tolerant countries in the world. And they're willing to call us bigots, but they would never do that to China. We know what China thinks about people that look like me. We know what they it's talking about the government. Because ironically enough, through Nike and the NBA, Kobe was beloved there. But like if we're talking about the government, and just the establishment there, they're not fond of people like me. A lot of businesses there are not fond of people like me. As we'll get into in the next story, and that's never called out by the NBA, who the NBA cares, the NBA social justice, Nike cares, Nike social justice, Nike makes some of the BLM gear and all this other stuff. They're the ones putting equality on people's jerseys. Yet, they're also the ones with using all their money, getting all their money basically from slave labor, and have been for some time. Oh Jesus, Wookie. Slavery is slavery as black people in America. Duh. We're not leftists in college, Wookie. So I think we're past that. And yeah, WNBA did have a great parade, which you can check on yesterday's episode. Yeah. Apparently, if I let a leftist tell you guys invented all of civilization, everything, the good and the bad, just everything. It comes from the thought process of the Caucasian, according to liberal education and liberal academia. Corporate activism creeps me the fuck out as well. It's complete bullshit at best, and at worst, it's fucking 1984. So, I could read through this. As Kai elegantly put it, everybody knows what the fuck is happening in China. We all know what Nike's been doing for decades, for basically their entire time of existence. We all know how these shoes are made, and they don't give a fuck. But it's cool to see people actually talk about it. Again, is Enes Kanter a star? He's not a star to the level of Kyrie Irving, nowhere close. He's not a star athlete, but he is an athlete, and he has spoke up, and he's an NBA player, and nobody in the NBA is willing to speak up. LeBron ain't willing to speak up. This great Muhammad Ali activist athlete of our time, he's not willing to speak up. He's not willing to say, you know what, I'm gonna make sure my shoes are not made this way. He's never been. Neither is Jordan for the same regard. You know what I mean? Because he's Jordan's made the same way, so that they'll use cheap labor, basically slave labor in China, and they'll get no criticism for it, and they'll charge whatever they want for those slave labor shoes. Oh wow, Courtney and her Fellowship of Eyeballs says Kobe's from my neighborhood in my graduating class. You're from Philly? Because I think he was from Philly, right? The weirdos with the shoe collections creep me out. Especially the men. For real, I used to be one of them, man. I still have a lot of shoes. I sold a lot of them. I used to have like 30 pairs of shoes. And it's crazy. This guy's with hundreds and hundreds of pairs. I used to have 30 or 40 pairs. Well, no, it's like close. It was 30. It wasn't 30, 40. It's right around 30. That was the highest I got. And I got like 10 or 11 pairs now, which is still a lot. And I don't wear most of them. If you guys remember, I used to have one of the Bathing Ape shoes behind me on the set. So yeah, I went a little crazy with the shoes too. So I'm the reason. I'm the I gotta fall on the sword too. I'm a lot to blame for a lot of what China is able to do through Nike and a lot of these corporations. As much as I've put money towards this shit, especially when my younger days, I put a lot of money towards this shit when I was younger. I was a dumbass who the target ass audience who helped fund a lot of this shit. Help fund a lot of this shit, and that's just the reality. That's just the reality, and I gotta deal with that. A lot. It's one thing, to a certain extent, you can't. China and their influence, and they make so much of our stuff. You can't not use anything. But yeah, I definitely bought a lot of pair of shoes. That's weird because Courtney's saying I used to collect sneakers. Illy Philly represent actually Lower Marion Township. Yeah, he's from Lower Marion. That was a school he went to. Everyone knows about women's shoes. So yeah, right outside of Philly. Shout out to Philly. Shout out to Philly. All right. So speaking of Philadelphia, Dune. No, there's no connection. I haven't talked about Dune because I haven't seen Dune. I know I got a little bit of it spoiled for me. On the MF Cocktail Lounge on Matt's channel, which you should check out. And also on Matt's channel tomorrow, Culture Crime Fire. So definitely check us out there tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, noon Central. Kobe did bring Brandy to the prom. So you actually went to the school. That's pretty cool. That was kind of a famous thing, him bringing Brandy to the prom. But so Dune, didn't talk about it. Haven't seen it. I know a lot of people wanted to see it. And not to go back in the past, I talked about the whole Shang-Chi thing months ago or a month and a half ago. It was a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, whatever it was. And there were a lot of people who wanted that to fail. And there's a lot of those same people who wanted this to succeed. But unfortunately, this movie probably will not be as successful as even Shang-Chi. It's already made quite a bit less. And I'm not sure how many people, like normies, are going to see this movie. But that aside, as we were talking about with China, not the fondest of black people. And as a result, she was removed from this actress, Liet Kynes, was removed from the Chinese poster. However, as a lot of people are pointing out, Zendaya, who's also a black woman, she's on the poster. So this is the American poster. And this is Zendaya, by the way. She's, I guess, mixed race, if that's the phrase. I'm not sure if her father is black or her mother is white. Or that's what it typically is, but I don't know. But they say it really should be through your father. But this is a Chinese poster. Zendaya is still there, so I'm not sure if they just didn't know. And actually I don't think Batista's here either. He's obviously Latino or Latinx. But I don't see him on this poster either. Is he on the original one? No, I don't think he's on the original one though. So he's not on the original one. But she is. Liet Kynes. That's the name of the character. Duncan Brewster. What's the actress's name? Sharon Duncan Brewster. Sharon Duncan Brewster as Liet Kynes. So yeah, she's in the poster in America, but in China, gone. This is not the first, nor will it be the last. I mean, obviously, Black Panther, they made him put his mask on. We know what happened to Finn in Star Wars. This is going to keep happening. That's what my thought was since she did it. Maybe she is wide passable, which is crazy. Oh, since you did, I'll stop. I'm not going to talk to disrespect. Let me see. So conclusion is men that collect sneakers have low testosterone and basically acting like women. Stop. Everyone knew, nobody cared till about 4 years ago. You talking about the China thing? There were people that cared. Because I remember fucking back when I was in college, back in the mid 2000s, there would be those, it's free to bet, man. There was those type of people. But you're right, mainstream people didn't care, but there were people that cared. And I think it doesn't watch the Crime Fire. That's sad. I wish you did. But hey, to each their own. To each their own. I'm not gonna force anyone to do anything. And I'm glad that you watched this. I appreciate you watching this. I appreciate you being here, man. Appreciate you being here. So Eddie Murphy raw quote, Wookiee supremacy. Not sure the reference in that one. But yeah, this is not a shock, right? As far as China doing this. And this is kind of what China does. They constantly do stuff like this. They constantly take black characters off of the posters, and apparently, again, Zendaya, maybe they didn't know, maybe they didn't realize it. And it's black in particular because it's every character here does not look like they're Caucasian only, so it's something about us. Not a big fan of. So this is just showing different versions of the same poster. Let's see. So she is on one Chinese version of the poster. It looks like. Okay. There's different takes on it. And then they're talking about different YouTubers. I didn't see anyone's YouTube on this. And then they're bringing up the similarities of other things. So I think I'm just trying to shorten it up because there's a lot in this article, and it's like what's really relevant. This is really not a shock or surprise, right? That China's done this. I wonder how much of this is going to continue. This pandering to China. Therefore, we can't have certain individuals on the posters, because. Really, if we're going to continue to pander to China, despite all the leftist LGBTQ and pro BLM propaganda that they're gonna keep pushing Hollywood, if they're going to continue to pander to China, they literally can never have a black lead of anything. Because how can they succeed in China with that? How can they succeed in China? How can they keep pushing stuff in China? If they're not willing to put black people on posters in China, then obviously you're not really willing to have them be the lead actor or actress or be the lead of your vehicle. So how can you both be so about inclusion and all these other things and pander to China? It just can't happen. It won't work. Such a dildo predicting what they say. I bet they'll say that China poster is culturally sensitive. I guess. Most Asian nations have cultural stigmas regarding black folks. Is that the case? Yeah. What do you do? Fish Chozo didn't get notifications. Thank you, YouTube. No one gets notifications. Please like, share, sub. Make sure you're still sub because people get eliminated all the time. My 663 subs for the third or fourth time. I think it's this. I've been at this number a bunch. Because I'll get subs and lose subs and get subs and lose subs. So, and the notifications, everything's wonky with YouTube. Views, everything's down. So please, if you make sure, and it is set to all. Yeah. So make sure with the notifications, you click the bell, set to all. Yeah, make sure with the notification. I'm sorry, I'm reading you guys in the chat. You're getting notifications. Make sure you just check up on the channel. Because you're not always going to get notifications. It's just not. That's not how it works. Not how YouTube works. Let me see. Sister Dildo says only one color that matters, green, and the way down says Kermit. Jed. No notification for me too. Still get notifications from that Mr. H and that umbrella guy. I never get notifications from Mr. H. I haven't watched the channel for a while. Because I haven't got notifications. Same with Clownfish. I have nothing against these channels, but YouTube has put them in the kibosh, and then I have to look for it, and then I end up forgetting about it. Sometimes I'll check it out if I remember to, but again, when you're busy and everything, it's a real nefarious thing to fuck with people's notifications. And Wake Down says, haven't we been having this argument since people getting removed since it happened with John Boyega in The Force Awakens? That's even referenced in this article. I can scroll down through everything. Yeah, it did happen with John Boyega, who's here in the poster and now replaced by lasers and ships in the Chinese version of the poster. Yeah, but the thing that happens is this never gets mainstream news because so much of our mainstream news is in bed with China as well. And so there's this thing where, they will literally spend all this money and all this effort into coming at people like us with the rewriting Ripley and even before then it was you toxic man babies, this, that, and the third, different media outlets posting, slanderous pieces, hit pieces, all in the name of diversity, but they won't even cover the fact that this is a thing. Normies don't notice this because they would never know this, and you never see any of these outlets talk about this sort of stuff. So like the Hollywood Reporters of the world, the Varieties, the Deadlines, all the entertainment bigwigs, the bigger magazines, they never talk about this stuff. And so, yeah, we've been having this discussion for a while, but they're totally making sure this discussion is not even in the ether of most people. And wait now, I forgot Mr. H exists until now. Here's a great channel recommendation, the Record Library. I will check that out. Speaking of channel stuff, wait now, because now that you're a producer, can you see the videos I watch? Not that I'm watching anything crazy. But like, can you see all my watch history and all that stuff? What information are you able to see now, man? Let me know. Don't necessarily say that here. I guess let me know on Twitter because I mean actually. What can you see that I've given you some information? Shout out to the Wait Down. He's helping the channel. He obviously has his own channel. Please plug your own channel. It's already bigger than mine because you have more people in your streams than I do now. Thank you, YouTube. Which I love the people that are here. Random Fact by the Star 2020. China owned 192,000 acres of farmland worth $1.9 billion. That was 2 years ago. What's the demon name? Gates. Does he have more than China? I can see a library. I have to wait down. Okay. But in short, like the way I said, this is an argument we've been having for a while, or a discussion we've been having for a while. But unfortunately, it's not the normie view, and it's still not the normie view. There's no normies here. None of you are normal, weirdos, bigots. So this is outside the normie view. This is outside of what I just realized it almost looks like wait, is Finn on this poster? He is on this poster. I didn't realize it because BB-8 is bigger. Finn is right here. So he is on the poster. You bigots. But in all seriousness, like, yeah, this discussion of what China does and how they feel. And Wait Down said, yeah, a lot of Asian countries have negative perceptions on black people. I've actually, for the longest, there's a channel called I want to say Black in Japan or something, Black Experience Japan. And it's about all these black people in different Asian countries, and the guy talks about their experiences and stuff like that. A lot of them had positive experiences. Some of them had for the most part positive experiences, but yeah, they have talked about a lot of those perceptions that exist out there. So I don't know, man. They're gonna keep pandering in China. I don't know how they can keep their wokeness. And again, I don't know why they don't get called out by it. I know why by the mainstream mag, because they're in their pocket. I know why. But I don't know why. I don't know why we have this class of SJW, this blue Kool-Aid haired crazy motherfuckers that scream anything that's outside of worship of all of these groups is racist and istophobic. But the second there's some actual issues that are never around. They can never be useful ever. Ever. Okay. And the Wait Down says LMAO. Feel free to check out my channel. I guess it's youtube.com/Wait Down. So you guys checking the messages. So Bill Gates owned 242,000 acres, largest private landowner in America, using that land to conduct research on how to put vaccines into food. Isn't that lovely? That is lovely. Yeah, and you guys are talking about utopia. Yeah, don't really like the fact that black men take a lot of women. That's definitely not been my experience, but I guess that's the case. Hashtag BBC. All right, guys. It's time to hit the positive story and to get out of here. It's been a really fun episode. Looks like we're making solid time. And I love these positive stories, man. I love ending on a good note. Wasn't the most depressing episode. We've had more depressing episodes. I'm glad this was pretty light, mostly about Kyrie Irving and his issues and some of the political jargon with sports ball. And I want to thank everybody for being here. As we've done these daily shows, more and more people are starting to show up. So I really appreciate it. So please like, share, subscribe. But let's hear some good news, because it's always good to hear some good news, some positive news before we get on our day. I know it's midday for most people. So a bagel shop owner shaves their head to show a customer that they are not alone. The owner of a bagel shop in New Jersey shaved his head to let a regular customer know she's not alone. This is them together, at least pre the owner shaving his head. And looks like they're in a salon here when they're taking this picture. 10-year-old Megan Rigucci was diagnosed with alopecia universalis in the first grade, an autoimmune disease which causes total body hair loss. Megan and her mother, Jen Rigucci, are frequent customers of Sunrise Bagels and Wyckoff. And I know those bagels out in New York are serious. Earlier this month, Sam Agarwal, and I'm sorry for all the individuals involved in this story for butchering your names, approached Jen and told her that he wanted to shave his head to match Megan. He did this solely because he feels the world needs more kindness and he doesn't want Meg to feel alone. So Meg and Jen met Sam and his wife at a local hair salon where a friend shaved Sam's head. So this is them with the shaved head with Meg or Megan. Sam and his wife did this all purely out of kindness, says Jen. They didn't want any attention or anything out of it, but just a smile from Meg was enough. The couple was beautiful with the most genuine of hearts. Jen says life for Meg can be difficult. She can't go anywhere without someone staring or asking if she's sick. She unfortunately has experienced some of the world's unkindness, I can imagine, especially in school, these crazy ass kids. So when someone goes above and beyond just to show her that she's not alone, that people are still kind, it just means the world to our family. Very simple gesture, very cool gesture, very something positive. They look all happy. Always cool to see happy people. Always cool to see people doing cool things for each other. Just simple. Simple and cool. But that will do it. That's the music. Hopefully you guys can hear it. I want to thank everybody for being a part of this show. I really appreciate it. Shout out to the Ascension Dildo. He's talking about the full episodes posted. Not sure of what. Rough girl who has a dirty mind. I'm not sure what's going on. What is it? Racism is people for people with little dick energy. I agree with that. Shout out to Courtney's Fellowship of Eyeballs. Shout out to Zach's. Obviously, Rough Girl, Such a Dildo, and the Weight Downs mentioned. Shout out to Wookiee Supremacy. Kai MFS is here for a little bit if I don't get to his name, because I'm not sure if it shows up. All Thinker, aka Noble Iro. Fizz Chozo, who unfortunately didn't get notifications. Thank you, YouTube, for your garbage. Who else was here? There's a lot of us. I know Pat S was here. I know shout out to the House of Holloway, Morgan Holloway. I really do hope that things go well with their job situation. Unfortunately, they have the mandates to get gene therapy, or else they won't have their job. So I wish them the best with that. And anyone who's dealing with a similar situation, because there's no guarantee. Shout out to Brightest Day, who also showed up. Again, Kaya MFS, who I appreciate being here. He's cool. Here's Morgan Holloway herself, or himself. I can't remember which one was there. Appreciate both of their couple, and I appreciate both of them. Darth Haster, appreciate you being here. I don't know if I said hi. If I did, blame my head, not my heart. Decepticon King, thank you for being here as well. Thank anyone else. Blame my head, not my heart. If I forgot you, I appreciate all of you. If you like the video, Low Spit Linus Laptop. I didn't see your name for some reason. So Dadman Walking, thank you. Stream Elements Bot, thank you. If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do so. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night and God bless. Peace.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate